Hi class. In this video, I'm going to work through a few evaluating expressions through substitution, and this is part of our Math 099 Statistics unit. The first question is to evaluate the expression x plus 3y times negative x minus z when x is 2.3, y is negative 5.6, and z is 0.9. The first thing I want you to do is to switch out each letter with the value that's given to us. And so first, we'll say 2.34 plus 3, y is negative 5.6, and then times negative 8. Again, x is 2.34 minus 0.9. I'm going to darken in the original parentheses. Okay, now that you have the substitutions, I just want you to use a calculator to simplify one set of parentheses at a time. Now, depending on how your calculator works, some of your calculators can do orders of operation for you, so you can type in the expression that I have underlined in red as is. Some of you may need to do that multiplication first and then add 2.34. That's what my calculator is going to need to do. So I'm going to multiply and then add, and you do the same. And I got a negative 14.46. We're going to do the same thing with the second parenthesis. Multiply negative 8 times 2.34 and then subtract 0.9. You go ahead and do it on your calculator, and I'll do it on mine. And I got negative 19.62. When two numbers are like this in a set of parentheses, the operation is multiply. So go ahead and multiply these two decimals together to get a final answer of 283.7. I rounded mine to the 10th position. Next, evaluate 5.2 minus the absolute value of 2.3y minus x. Just like the previous example, I want you to rewrite this expression and switch out the x and y for the values given here below. This is 5.2 minus the absolute value of 2.3 times negative 1.4 minus 10.3, and then close your absolute value. For right now, the absolute value can work like a parenthesis. I want you to first work out what's inside of the absolute value bars. Multiply 2.3 times negative 1.4 and subtract 10.3. It gives a value of negative 13.52. That is still inside the absolute value bars. Remember what absolute value bars are. It's the distance from 0, and so negative 13.52 is 13.52 spaces away. A shortcut is to think the number inside of the absolute value bars will always be positive. So this is 5.2 minus 13.52, and then using your calculator, go ahead and subtract these two values to get negative 8.32. Next, evaluate negative 15x plus x times 4.1y. And then here we see that x will be 6.7 and y is negative 11. So we'll do the same thing as the previous problems. Negative 15 times 6.7 plus, I'm going to go ahead and put that x in its own parentheses. 6.7 is x. I'm going to do the same with the 4.1. I'll put it in its own parentheses, and then I'll put the negative 11, which is y, in a set of parentheses. Next, orders of operation says we need to multiply first before we can do this addition here in the middle. Go ahead and take a minute and multiply these numbers together. Negative 15 times 6.7 is negative 10.05, and then 6.7 times 4.1 times negative 11 is negative 302.17, and we are adding these two values together to get a total of negative 312.22. Okay, this will be the last problem on this video. We are going to evaluate the expression y times z minus 3.1 over x plus 2z, and then here are the values for x, y, and z. And so our substitution will look like negative 5 times 6.5 minus 3.1 over 6.5 times 2 times 7.1. It's best when you're working with a fraction like this to first work out the numerator and then work out the denominator, and then we can convert the final answer to a decimal. Across the numerator, I want you to multiply -5 times 6.5 and then subtract 3.1. Got a total of -35.6. The denominator will be 6.5 plus 2 times 7.1. I'm going to multiply the 2 times 7.1 first because my calculator cannot work out orders of operations. And then I'm going to go back and add the 6.7 to get 20.7. Now we can use this fraction as a division problem. Type in the numerator first, -35.6, divided by the denominator, 20.7. Let's round this one to the hundredths. And so that equals -1.72. And that's all for this video. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to give you some extra help.